Hello there, friends. It is Jimmy Maverick, and we are going to do a mock draft right now on ESPN. We are going to do a 12-team PPR mock draft, picking fifth, and we're going to see what kind of team we can build today. And as always, we are going to use my app, My Perfect Fantasy Draft, to help us pick players today. Just to let you know, this app right now is under constant updates. It is, as things are happening, it is being incorporated into the draft app. You're going to have the latest information on all the players by doing this. It's going to really give you the edge on draft day, and that's one of the big things. That's one of the reasons why I developed this, is that there wasn't really any live draft tools you could take into the draft with you and utilize while you are in a live draft situation where you're on the clock. You got to make quick decisions. That's why I built this app. So I invite you to go over to my website, fantasyfootballmaverick.com today. Check it out. If you like it, you can subscribe. It's only $9.95 for a full year subscription. Absolutely worth the cost. And it will definitely help you draft a better team come draft day. So let me show you how easy it is to set up. Now, the quick setup only takes a minute. You got to answer 3 questions. How does your league score points? We're doing PPR. Do you want to engage Jimmy's recommended player filters? Normally I say yes, but I'm just going to say no so we can see all the players on the draft board. And then do you want to enter draft mode? So for this, we have to enter in the size of our league, 12-team league, and our draft position, which is 5. Let's go ahead and enter draft mode. And how are we doing on time? 1 minute till the draft starts. So what you got here is you got your player list. You've got recommendations, which I'm just going to minimize so we just see the names. Up at the top, you got the position filters, and here you've got the draft mode tab. So this represents each round of your draft. So all we got to do is just click on the first pick, and you can see that the app is recommending Devontae Adams, Travis Kelce, or David Johnson. Those are the 3 choices, and I think there are 3 very fine choices for your first pick. If you wanted to look at, well, what other running backs are available, you can just filter for the running backs. And you can see that there's Kamara, McCaffrey, and Elliott, but they all have this little gun next to their name, which means that they are long shots, which just basically defined as less than a 50-50 shot to make it to us, although Zeke might have a good chance of falling to us. If he does, I would definitely take him over David Johnson. If we somehow miss on David Johnson, and well, these other 4 guys are gone, James Conner, then Todd Gurley, it's in that order. So, that is how the app works. It looks like they have just started the draft. And what I like to utilize is my queue. Whenever I am looking at players, I like to queue them up on the draft board. So let's go ahead and queue up Adams, Kelce, and Johnson. And let's see here. So there's Johnson, and there's Adams, and there's Kelce right there. Great. Okay. And the reason why I do that is because as we go into the draft and you go into later rounds, it's always good to see what players may have fallen to us. For instance, you can see Kelce is here at 15, and our next pick in the second round is pick number 20. All right, that's kind of a long shot. I doubt he would make it to us, but that's the reason why you do this. There's always, every draft, there's going to be players that get forgotten on a round-to-round basis. And so I like to utilize the app to, again, find the players that I like the most, queue them up so that way if they fall to the next round, I'd be sure to know about it. So, I could also queue up Connor here. I could queue up Gurley. Where is Gurley? Let's see here. Let me just go to the running backs because I'm not seeing him. There he is. We'll queue them up too because who knows? You never know. These guys might fall to the next round. So, but that's basically all there is to it, man. You just use this app. It's just going to walk you through round by round. And as soon as we're done with this first pick, we're just going to click on tab number 2, and we're going to find our favorite players. And then we're going to come over here to the draft board. We're going to queue up all those players. And then we just have to wait for our turn to arrive. Let me tell you, it makes a huge difference on draft day if you draft like this. You always got to be looking ahead, and when we're looking at these pools of players, we're going to look at players, for instance, for the second round, that are most likely to be available in the second round. We won't need to waste our time worrying about guys like I don't know, Dalvin Cook or Michael Thomas, guys that will never make it to us in the second round, right? We've already determined that we don't want them for the first round. They would never make it to us in the second round, so they're irrelevant, right? We don't even need to worry about it. We just need to worry about what players can we get. So one more pick to us, and hopefully Team C will make their decision very quickly. And then we can move on to the second round and see who we get. So, okay, now, holy cow, check it out. Look at this. Zeke Elliott did fall to us. That is awesome. So, according to my app, when we look at just the running backs, Zeke rates ahead of David Johnson. Well, they actually had the same VORC score, but I just like the upside of Zeke. We will just absolutely make sure that we get Tony Pollard when the time comes, and he will be pointed out in the draft as well. So we'll just be sure to get him at the right time so that we are fully covered for this Dallas offense. And let me say, I think whoever starts, they're going to be very effective. It's a great early season schedule. So let's go to the second round. So that was nice. We got a long shot. We basically 50-50 shot or less to get Zeke. He fell to us, so that's a bonus. That's great. So second round, here we go. Mike Evans, George Kittle, Kerryon Johnson. Again, 3 great choices, great options here. Wide receivers, I always like to go wide receiver in the second round. You can also see that we have Juju Smith-Schuster, who is a long shot. I definitely want to put him on the queue, but him and Mike Evans together, I think those are great choices. So let's go ahead and get them queued up. So where is Mike Evans? There he is. And where is Juju? There he is. He probably is not going to make it to us. But let's look at the running backs too, because you got Dalvin Cook as a long shot. There's Kerryon Johnson, Leonard Fournette, Chris Carson. Boy, there's some good choices here in this round. I want to put all these guys on. Let's do Kerryon, Leonard, Carson, and Jacobs. I want to see all of them because these are all great choices for your fantasy team this season. So I'll go ahead and let's just filter for them. And let's see here. So there's Kerryon, there's Fournette, there's Jacobs, there's Carson. Great. Okay, we are good to go. So our queue is chock full of players. So we are in great shape. So what I'm going to do, because it's going to be a long wait to our next pick, so I'm just going to pause the video. We'll come back when it's our pick. We'll see who's available. We'll make our decision at that point. I'll be right back. All right, so it came back to us. All of our first-round picks were taken, so that's not surprising. But Mike Evans, Kerryon Johnson, Leonard Fournette, Chris Carson all made it to our pick. Again, my top choice is Evans. He certainly carries the most value if we look. Mike Evans' value rank is 12th in a full PPR setting. So we go for the value, take the value. Mike Evans is our wide receiver 1, and I really like his upside this year. So let's move on. Third round. Who is the app recommending? Zach Ertz, Adam Thielen, Damian Williams. Again, we got great choices here. This is a super awesome draft is what's happening right now. I will get all these guys queued up. Let's look at running backs, though. We definitely want to go back to running backs. And on this round, you can see Leonard Fournette is a long shot. It'd be nice to get him if he came around. Damian Williams, he's a great choice. We're talking the best offense in the NFL. He's going to be productive. His value is not great, though. You look at his value rank, it's 50. We're at pick 29. I kind of want to stay away from players like that. And you can see there's generally poor value. Chris Carson, another long shot. David Montgomery does offer decent value here. And what I like to say is if it's plus or minus 5 from where your pick is, that's fair value, but otherwise they'd be undervalued or overvalued. So David Montgomery still slightly overvalued, but a great option. So we can put him up. So let's see here. There's Damian and there's David Montgomery. So I like him. And then was there anybody else on this list? Derrick Henry, I'm staying away from. Melvin Gordon, I'm staying away from. We already got those guys all queued up. So we got some options. James White, I'm not real big on. Wide receivers, we've got Adam Thielen, Brandon Cooks. Those guys are probably my favorites. So let's put Thielen and Cooks also on the queue, and we'll put up Ertz. So let's see here. So it's already back to our pick. Wow, look at that. That was fast. All right, so look at this. Hey, look, another long shot made it to us. Leonard Fournette. I got to say, love the workload, love the new attitude that this guy has. I think he's going to bounce back very strongly this year. I think this team is going to be much better than it was in last year's disappointing letdown season. So let's take Fournette as our second running backs. We got Elliott and Fournette. That's a hell of a combo, man. That's a very, very strong combo to start the season. And we will go to round 4. So round 4, who are we looking at? T.Y. Hilton, Alshon Jeffrey, Marlon Mack. These are, again, all great choices. Marlon Mack on sale, man. He is currently sitting at pick 47. He's fallen like more than a full round from where he was before the Luck retirement. And quite frankly, the offensive line of Indianapolis is fantastic, top notch, one of the best in the league. He is going to be productive. I have no problems taking Marlon Mack. Everyone's thinking that this team's going to slide to, Jacob E. Brissett 4-11 team, that like what he did the year that Andrew Luck missed a few years ago. But this is an entirely different team with a much better coach at the helm. So, and T.Y. Hilton too, another guy that has fallen precipitously from where he was before. So let's grab the value, because there's lots of value here. Marlon Mack, well, actually Marlon Mack is fair value, but T.Y. Hilton is undervalued at this point. Look at his value rank is 33. But let's get these guys queued up. I'll pause the video. We'll come back when it's our pick, and we'll see who we get. All right, so it's back to us. So all of our choices, Marlon Mack, T.Y. Hilton, Alshon Jeffrey, all made it back to us. I do like the idea of sticking with the running backs. So this would be our third running back, our flex play position. Marlon Mack, love it. Great value there. Great choice at this point in the draft. So round 5, let's look here. So who's the app recommending? Tyler Boyd, Sterling Shepard, Phillip Lindsay. Again, great choices. And these guys all offer really good value. Look at Tyler Boyd's value. Value rank of 36. We're at pick number 53. Sterling Shepard, value rank of 58. So he's fair value. And Phillip Lindsay, value rank of 64. So he's a little bit overvalued here. But Phillip Lindsay is one of the last running backs that I really want to get in this league. Although I find it's very hard for me to turn away from that Tyler Boyd value. Of course, he is the top receiver in Cincinnati. AJ Green's going to miss at least 3 games this season. So that is very good for Tyler Boyd's production. So I like the idea of going with him. I'm going to get all these guys queued up, and we'll come back when it's our pick, and we'll see who we get. All right, so it just came back to us. So Tyler Boyd, Sterling Shepard, Phillip Lindsay, all still on the board. I'm just looking at who is also at the top. I think these are, again, all good choices. I'm going to go with the most value, though, in this case. Tyler Boyd, nearly 2 rounds of value for where we're getting him. So that is a great choice for this point in the draft. Let's go to the 6th round now. We can look, and you can see it's recommending Robby Anderson, Jarvis Landry, Baker Mayfield. So if we wanted to go with, a high-end quarterback, I do have Baker Mayfield projected as my number 2 quarterback this year because that team he's built around him. Jarvis Landry, obviously a piece of that. I love that. So let's get both Robby Anderson and Landry on the board. I'm not going to take a quarterback this early, though. I'm going to continue to focus on running backs and wide receivers. Now, this round for running backs, we've got Austin Ekeler, who is a long shot. I think he's a great choice. Tevin Coleman, also okay. I'm not really thrilled with him right now. Value is not great on Coleman. It's all right for Ekeler. So let's get Ekeler on the queue as well. Maybe he'll make it to us. I certainly would like to have him on the team. But Anderson, Landry, and Ekeler, I'll just pause the video. We'll come back when it is our pick. Okay, so it's almost back to our pick. You can see Lindsay and Ekeler are still on the board. Anderson and Landry still there as well. Of course, we do have Evans and Boyd as our wide receivers, so we're very strong with our starting wide receivers right now. I am inclined to take either Lindsay or Ekeler if they make it to this pick. But if somehow they both get taken, I would obviously go probably with Robby Anderson. He has better value than Landry, but I think they're both great. So we will just wait and see what happens here. Team Allen hopefully won't take his full allotment of time. But I hope you see what's going on here. So one of the things I want to make super clear. Okay, so look at that. So Landry got taken early. That's interesting. But Lindsay, Ekeler still on the board. I believe that Gordon is going to be holding out for an extended period of time this season. So let's take Ekeler because Eckler's going to be an RB, at least an RB2 during the absence. And even if Gordon comes back, Ekeler still has flex value. So let's go ahead and take Ekeler. I'm glad that he made it to us. And let's go to the 7th round now. So we got Larry Fitzgerald, Royce Freeman, Vance McDonald. So now we got tight ends. If we wanted to get a tight end at this point, that would be a good thing to do. So I think it probably would be a good idea to get a wide receiver this round. So Fitzgerald is a good choice. Who else do we have? D.D. Westbrook is a long shot. I like that. Look at the value there. Very nice value. Nearly 20 points of value. You got Marvin Jones, Christian Kirk, Emmanuel Sanders. Those guys I'm not real thrilled with. Curtis Samuel is a high upside play as well. Just from the buzz he's been getting, I'd be more inclined to take Fitz or Westbrook first. Let's get those three guys queued up. Let's also queue up Vance McDonald, and let's just take a look at what tight ends are still on the board. So there's Vance. So Jared Cook is still on the board. If he makes it to us, I would probably take him at this point. But the wide receivers, we've got, so let's go ahead. So there's Curtis, there's Fitz, and is DD still on the board? I think DD might be gone. Let's see here. Yeah, DD's already gone. That's a bummer. All right. But we were also talking Curtis. Where are you, Curtis? I just saw you. Curtis Samuel, right there. Okay, great. So I hope you're noticing here that I am not really tracking what players are coming off the board, because I don't need to. The way the app works is it uses an algorithm to determine the most likely placement, the most likely draft position of every player on the board. It's better than ADP. I call it expected draft position, EDP. And so it's designed to give you an idea as to when players are going. And when you're in draft mode and you're looking in round 7 and we look at all the players, what you're seeing here is all the players between our round 7 pick and our round 8 pick. Okay. So when we finally come to the 8th round, basically all these guys are going to be gone. The ones that are most likely to make it to the next round are the reaches, the little hands. These guys are most likely to make it to the next pick. But everyone else is pretty much going to be gone. And so, that's really all you need to do. So this allows you to just focus on that pool of players in each round. Find the best player for you. Look at this. Lindsey made it to this round. Are you kidding? Round 7? That is this. Robby Anderson made it to round 7. Wow. Okay, so we lucked out here. This is great. 2 beyond long shots made it to us. I mean, Phil Lindsey should have been gone like 2 rounds ago. Robby Anderson, though, great depth for our wide receivers, and we really do need some depth there. It looks like the tight ends did get taken, except for Vance McDonald. I'm going to go with Robby Anderson here. Love that pick. Love it. Let's go to the 8th round here. So 8th round, Larry Fitzgerald is still on the board. So basically what that means, Larry Fitzgerald appeared on both, right? Larry Fitzgerald expected draft position is 93. So we're at pick 77. Our next pick is 92. So he doesn't qualify as a long shot, but it's probably only about a 60% chance that he'll be available on the next round. But that's fine. We still got him queued up. Austin Hooper, there's another tight end who I very much like to take in these middle rounds. James Washington, the wide receiver, I think that's a good choice too. Let's look at running backs here. So we got Barber, Freeman, Hines, McCoy, Penny. Not really interested in any of those guys. So let's continue to build our depth. I do like the idea of we could get our tight end now. Once you get past Hooper, basically there's only one more guy that I want, and that's Anderson. I don't want to miss out on him. So let's get Hooper and Washington queued up. Let's look at the other wide receivers. Any other good wide receivers here? Curtis is a long shot, and that's pretty much it. So Hooper and Washington, and I'll just pause until it's our pick, and we'll see who we get. All right, so it's almost back to our pick. So Fitzgerald still on the board. Curtis Samuel still on the board. Austin Hooper. I think we need to go and get our tight end. Let's go ahead and get Hooper. I really like his upside this year. It is a contract year for him, and he's had increasing usage in each of the first 3 seasons of his career. So he's in great shape to continue to improve. To be a big year for him. Let's go ahead and take Hooper. And now we can go to the 9th round. Now, one of the things we need to start looking at is when do we need to take Tony Pollard, right? So Pollard is not in the 9th round, not in the 10th round. There he is. He's in the 11th round. Okay, so look at that. That came back to us very quickly. But look who's at the top of the list here for running backs. Darwin Thompson, a high upside player who I am very interested in. Let's see if he is still available. He sure is. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take Darwin. He is going to be our fifth running back. So we are beautifully deep with really good running backs right now. And let's go to the 10th round. And you can see that it's recommending Terrell Williams, Mark Andrews. See, there's the other tight end that I like. Jared Goff, if we wanted to go quarterback. We have not gotten our quarterback yet. Let's look at who is still available on the board for quarterbacks. So there's still some really good options. There's Goff. There's Lamar Jackson. Those are probably the two guys that I'm most interested in for the next pick. So let's get a quarterback with our 10th round pick, and then 11th round we're going to grab Tony Pollard, and I tell you, we will be in fantastic shape for this league. This is a great draft right now. Things are going really well. I'm just going to pause till it's our pick, and we'll be right back. Oh, I can't believe it. I just got sniped on both of my choices for quarterback. I can't believe it. So there's still good choices on the board, but I'm going to wait because Rivers and Cousins are kind of like the next step for me. So you know what we can do right here, though? Let's go ahead and get Tony Pollard now. I'm going to take him a full round early. Remember, we did initially say 11th round, but because the thing happened with the quarterbacks, we don't need to worry about, we'll get a good quarterback. Let's go ahead and draft Pollard. That secures the Ezekiel Elliott production for us. And let's go to we're heading into we're in the 11th round. Okay. So the 11th round, see, Lamar Jackson is the top choice, but he got taken. Kalen Ballage, I got to say, there's some big upside with Kalen that makes him very interesting. Let's see if Terrell Williams is still available, because I would be very interested in that. So let's go to wide receivers. And are you still on the board, Terrell? Nah, you got drafted. Oh, that's a bummer. All right, so we got to make a decision here. So let's go to all positions. I'm just going to, because we didn't have anybody queued up, how about Ballage? Is Ballage still on the board? He is still on the board. Okay, like the upside here. Chances are they're talking about shipping off Kenyon Drake, so that means he would be the number one. Even though it's a bad team, that's a good choice. That's a very exciting choice. All right, 12th round. New England Patriots, Denver Broncos, Jalen Samuels. We could keep going with these running backs and just stockpile them. And quite frankly, I am perfectly fine with that. Wide receivers this round, not really any great choices. But we do need to get a quarterback, though, and that's something that we need to look at. So let's just go to the quarterbacks, and let's queue a couple guys up, and let's see who's still available. So we got Trubisky, Winston, I don't want those guys, but Rivers and Cousins are perfectly good. I'm hoping I don't get sniped here. I might have waited too long. But that's okay, man. The quarterback position is so monstrously deep that I am totally okay with going with Rivers or Cousins. These guys are consummate QB1s every year, and they're both on really good offenses. So I think we'll be able to get one of them. Maybe Hopi. So it's going real quick. Now it's mostly auto picks. So this obviously is not like your typical draft when you are having a bunch of live humans you're drafting against. So I think we're just going to stop it after here. We'll just review the team and we will call it quits. But this is a great team, man. We assembled a very strong team with an extremely deep running back core. So we are in great shape for the upcoming season. Got ourselves some excellent wide receivers, and it's much easier to get wide receivers off the waivers than running backs in these size leagues. So look, both these guys made it back to us. Rivers is a favorite of mine. I love him. So right now we've got Rivers as our quarterback, Elliott, Fournette, Mack, Ekeler, Darwin Thompson, and Tony Pollard, and Kalen Ballage as our running backs. Look, it just came back to us super, super quick. Let's look at wide receivers here. Is there anyone I want to grab? Let's just grab a depth. Well, you know what? Deebo Samuel, that has some upside. Mohammed Sanu is very safe play. We'll go ahead and we'll take him, and there will be one more bench slot. But our wide receivers, Mike Evans, Tyler Boyd, and Robby Anderson, and now Mohammed Sanu. So that's more than enough as far as wide receivers go. I'm usually capping out at 4 wide receivers. That's really all you need. Everyone else, as many running backs as you can get. Now, let's see who's still on the board. Look, Jalen Samuels is still on the board. Justice Hill still on the board. Damian Harris still on the board. These are all guys that I like. Justin Jackson, we already got Ekeler, so we don't need to worry about Justin Jackson. These other guys not really interested in because they are mostly second fiddles. They're never going to be productive for fantasy purposes. But any of these guys would be great to close out our running back core. Our tight end, we got Austin Hooper. Then, the defense and the kicker, that'll be the final 2 rounds. We'll get someone decent. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video. I'll take the final 3 players. We'll come back and I'll just close it up. All right, so we got our team together. So I ended up taking Justice Hill, who I love the upside of this guy. I think he's going to be explosive this year for the Ravens offense. I took the Cowboys defense, great early season schedule. Love their matchups. Mason Crosby, personal favorite of mine because I'm from the University of Colorado, so he's an alum too. So love him, love the Green Bay offense. So overall, this team, top-notch, man. Massive, massive depth at the running back position, which is what you need. As many lottery tickets as you can get. We've got 4 good wide receivers. I don't think we're going to need to worry about the wide receiver position at all, though, because those guys are all rock solid on a week-to-week basis. And again, we got Pollard and Elliott, so we're solid for the Cowboys for their running game. No matter what happens, we're in great shape. So I love this team. Very happy to do it. And again, I invite you, go to my website, go to fantasyfootballmaverick.com today. Check out the app. You can try it out on a mock draft yourself. If you like it, you can subscribe. It's only $9.95. Super bargain. You'll unlock all the features of the app when you subscribe for 1 year. You can use it on as many drafts as you have. I don't know how many you have, but I have 5 drafts between now and when the season actually starts. And my next one is on Friday. So you can customize your list. It is very handy. Like if you've got a PPR draft and a half-point PPR and a standard points league that you are in, the list is different on each of them. The recommended players is different on each of them because the recommendations are based on how those players rate out, how they score out for value and their outlook. And you've got things like reliability and consistency to help you as well. But the recommendations are there to help you, and also just the when, knowing what round you need to target players in to get them. And you notice that we basically got every player we wanted, except for the quarterback. We got sniped on the quarterback. So remember when that happened. But we still ended up getting a great quarterback. Phillip Rivers is great. So I'm totally happy with who we ended up with. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment below. And, like I said, I'd love to hear from you. And happy drafting, everybody. Good luck. Good luck on draft day this season. I'll talk to you soon.